Hey everyone, and welcome back to Art with Sienna and Olivia. It's Sienna here, and today we're going to be bringing a peaceful coastal scene to life. A lighthouse by the sea, a sailboat drifting, reeds gently swaying, a seagull soaring above, and a bright sun. So grab your stylus, open up the Procreate app, and let's dive in. The first thing we're going to be doing is, of course, making a new canvas by going on this little plus right here and saying screen size, and making sure your iPad is in the vertical position. I have a color palette ready right here, and you can find it in the link below. For our brush, I want to be using the script under calligraphy, and for the size, I want to be using the full size because we're going to start with the background. And let's grab this first color in the first row. We can zoom out on our canvas a bit and come over here on the top. We can actually grab a bigger brush. Let's go to the painting, round, and make it about something close to 40. It can be between 35 and 40%. And we're just going to come up here and put some of this nice blue in our sky. And then we can grab the second color in the first row, a lighter blue. Like this. We can put more of this one. And then third color in the first row, a very light blue. Just like that. And then we can Gaussian blur this by going to the magic wand, going to Gaussian blur, and sliding to the right to blur this. Let's go for maybe 40%. Perfect, that looks really good. Perfect, so now we got our background layer. Next, let's go and start with our ocean. So we can tap a plus to make a new layer. And then I want to grab this fourth color in the first row. We can go back to our script brush, so calligraphy, and we're already on script. We can lower our size to 10%. And then we're going to make a line about below halfway of our canvas. Just a straight line. You can tap and hold to get the perfect line. Just like this. And we can say edit line up here, and we can move it down a bit. I'm going to go for right there. I think that looks good, a bit higher maybe. And then we can drag in the color. And now we have our beautiful ocean. Next, let's keep this ocean like this for now. And then I want to start with our grassy hill right here. So we can make a new layer. And then I want to use this last color, this green color, the last color in the first row. And we're going to make a nice hill shape. So for our size, I want to use a more thick brush. So let's go for 22% or even 20. And then we're going to go in a wavy kind of line. So it's gonna go like this and then dip and then come up. Something like that. So let's go like this. Just like that. And we can make this line a bit less wobbly before we color it in. Or even, I think that wobble looks good, so it looks like natural. And then we can fill that in just like that. Perfect, so now we can start adding some light and shadow to our ocean and hills. So let's start with our ocean. We can tap the plus above our ocean but below our hills. Go on this little N right here and then scroll up to multiply, just like that. And then we're going to tap on this layer 4 and turn on clipping mask. And then if you tap and hold your finger, you can grab this local blue color. And we're just going to go put this blue right here. And the reason why this is darker is because, as you can see on this layer, we put multiply instead of normal, and multiply darkens. So then we can just put some of this darker color, and we can blur that, just like that. And then let's add some add, which is light. So add, so same, but instead of going to the M, we're going to the A, which is for add. And let's put some light. We can make our brush bigger. We can put some light on this horizon. And then blur it. Add some more, just like, we can just put these little strokes just like that. And then blur that because it all comes together nicely. And then we got our ocean right here. So now we can merge these layers together by just swiping with 2 fingers or even just like kind of pinching it together. And then now let's go to layer 3, our hill layer. Tap the plus, go on the little N and go to multiply and turn on clipping mask. And then I want to, since our hill is a bigger mass, let's go to the painting and go to round brush and make it, let's go for like 69%. And then we can just go right here. And then let's blur that. And now I think we have a bit too much shadow. And then now instead of deleting this layer, instead what we can do, which is easier and faster, is making a new layer, going on the end, going to add, making sure clipping mask is turned on, grabbing this light green, and then now we can just put light right here. So then it will go along nicely with our shadow layer. So when we Gaussian blur it, see it goes down like this. So we have some nice light, just like that. And that looks really good. So now we have our hill, our sky, and our ocean. Let's merge those together. Perfect. Now I want to start with our lighthouse. So we're going to tap the plus so we have our lighthouse above everything else. And then I want to grab this first color in the second row, this white. And then we can still use the painting brush, and we can make our size 5%. And we can tilt our camera here for the bottom of our lighthouse, and then it's going to shoot up like this. You can use a line like this. And then we can use a line like this for the top. And then I want to make it a little rounded at the top right here. Just a little bit, very faintly. Just like that. And then we can fill that in. Perfect, then I got our base color for our lighthouse. And then now I want to add some, actually before we add the red, let's add the little kind of rail at the top. And then like the main centerpiece, which is where the light will come out. So we can go to our hill layer, tap the plus. So we have something underneath our white layer. And then let's grab this gray color, so third color in the second row. And then we'll just make this little railing right here. Like this. Just like that. Perfect, that looks great. And then now we can go to our hill layer, tap the plus, so we have something underneath all of our lighthouse layers. And then let's grab the fourth color in the second row. And then let's just make like this kind of big gray thing. Just right here like that. So this is like the top of our lighthouse. Perfect, just like that. And then now I want to go back to our white cylinder, tap the plus, and now we're not going to do anything with this little end. We're just going to turn on clipping mask. And we're going to grab the second color in the second row, this red. We're going to put our size to 42%, and then just make this red right here. So we can make it a bit smaller. So like this. Like that. Just like that. And then we can even duplicate these reds and then push them down. And then same as this one, so we have 3. Just like this. I even want to maybe even erase some, if that's too much. You can erase some of this, just to make them a bit smaller. Just like that, perfect. This looks really good, so now it looks like a real lighthouse now. And now we can merge all of that together. And then I want to make our lighthouse a bit more like thin, so we can go to the freeform tool and then push our lighthouse in just like that. So we can make it less fat and more thin, just like that. That looks much better. Perfect, so now we got our lighthouse. Let's add some light and shadow to our lighthouse now by tapping on the plus, going on the little N, going to multiply, and turning on clipping mask. Let's grab, now instead of grabbing one of these colors, I want to grab just a light gray like that. And we're just going to go along the left side of this lighthouse, just like that. And we're not even going to blur it, because I think this kind of style looks good. Just like that, and now we got our shadow on our lighthouse. I don't want to add light just yet, so let's just leave it like that. And then now I want to add some clouds and our sun. So let's go to our sky layer and make a plus so it's above our sky but below everything else. So let's start with our clouds. So I have these two colors for our clouds right here. So it's the last color and second to last color in the second row. So we'll grab this one right here, so the lighter color. And we're just gonna make a simple cloud shape like this. Just like this. Just like that. And then we can color this in by hand. Perfect. And then now we can make this one a bit smaller. Let's go to the uniform tool. And then now we can duplicate that, put this one underneath that. So you flip horizontal and then move it on this side. And then we can make this one bigger. And then now we can turn off this other one, and I want to change some parts. So for this one, so they don't look exactly the same. So we can make this one like that. Just like this, and then we can turn that back on, and now they look kind of different now. And then now let's grab the last color in the second row, and then drag it onto here. So now I have a different color for that cloud. And then now we can merge those two together and start adding some light and shadow. So let's start with the shadow. And let's just add like this. Come on over here. So we're just following the shape of our original cloud. And then let's Gaussian blur this. Like that. And then add some light. Perfect, just like this. So Gaussian blur. Just like that, let's go back to our multiply layer. Just add some more shadow, because I feel like we added too much light. And then let's Gaussian blur that, and now we have this nice fluffy cloud look. That looks really great, and then we can merge those layers together. And now let's do our sun. So for our sun, I see I don't have a yellow here, but I think yellow is good because it's just going to be just one color. So we can just draw a circle like that for our sun. Very simple. Make sure there's no holes. And let's make it about this size and put it right up here. Maybe lower like that. And let's add some light and shadow to this as well. We can Gaussian blur that. So adding light and shadow gets really easy. It's just one flow going on the end, going on either multiply or add, and then Gaussian blurring it. And then let's pinch those together. Just like that. Perfect, so now we got our sun. I want to move on to our grass now. So we can go to our, let's go to our grassy layer and make a plus. So it's above our grassy layer. And then let's grab this green right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth color in the second row. And then we're going to just make these little reed shapes that are coming out of our hill, or this little, our hill. So we're gonna make 3. So one is kind of shorter like this, one is longer, and then one is shorter than the first one. So I think that looks good. And then let's grab this brown color, so 6th color in the second row. And then just make these little kind of rectangular rounded shapes for our reeds. Just like that. And then, actually let's erase that and put it on a different layer so we have more flexibility, sorry. And we can just put that in. And then let's make this smaller and put it over here. And then duplicate that and then put it up here. We can tilt it a bit more. And then duplicate that. And put it over here. Just like that. And then now we can add some shadow and light to these reeds. Just like that. Let's blur it. And then add some light. Perfect, just like that, and then we can merge all of that together. And let's make it a bit bigger, so I think this looks good. We can tilt it a bit more. And then we can duplicate it and then put it on the other side. Say flip horizontal. I just put it maybe over here. Oops, what are these lines right here? Let's fix that by just erasing it. And then you can just pinch these two layers together. Next, I want to add some shadow underneath these reeds under our lighthouse. Let's go to our grass layer and then go to M. We can make a new layer and then say clipping mask. And then just draw these little circles like for shadows underneath our reeds. And then also underneath our lighthouse. So just like that. I also want to add some shadow of these reeds, like the stems. We can go, actually, let's make a new one because I want to keep this like this, but we're going to blur for the stem. So let's, merge those two, and then go to multiply and clipping mask. So we'll put them a bit more forward than the rest. And then we can blur it very slightly, so let's go for 6%. So we can still see it, but it's nicely blurred. And then let's merge all of that together. Perfect, our scene is really coming to life. Now let's work on the water now. So let's add a sailboat. So we'll grab this gray right here. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th color in the second row. So we're just gonna add a really simple sailboat. So it's like a triangle on top. Just like that. And then a little line. And then the body of the boat. Perfect, just like that. We can make this one a bit more thick. And now we've got our sailboat. Let's, of course, add some shadow to this. It's too big for a brush. Just over here. Like that. And then let's add some shadow, or some light. So I don't know if you've noticed by now, but I feel like light, you want to put not a lot because then it'll be too strong, because it's definitely more strong than shadow. So make sure you don't like fill your whole boat like this with like your add color. So just put like a little bit on like right here. That's like good. And then you get that perfect mix of shadow and light. And then we can merge that. And let's add some more texture to the grass. So let's grab this kind of dark green right here. And just add some of these little grass textures. Just like that. Put it right here. And that looks good. Just like that. Perfect. So now I think we're almost done. We just gotta add a few more things. So let's start with our seagull. That's gonna be right over here, right under the sun. So we're gonna grab white. Okay, and now we're gonna come here and first start with our seagull's body. So it's gonna be we're gonna see the side of our seagull's body. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna come in and then draw our beak. And then we can just connect it like that. And now let's go to our tail. And then we can draw like the little tail feathers just like that. And then we can fill in just this white area. And let's also color in the beak area. And then let's go to our move and transform. So we'll go to freeform and then push in this belly a bit. Just like that. Perfect. And now let's go to the wing. So we're going to go up like this. Out. So we're going to go up, out, and then draw the wings. Perfect, just like this. Let's come in here and erase. And then we can just grab our white and put it in there. Perfect for one of our wings. And then let's do the other wing. Same style, but more at an angle. So just like that. Perfect. And now let's make a new layer. Go on clipping mask. Grab pure black. And now we're going to make a little black feather right here. Like the black part of our seagull's wing. And then erase it like that. Put it right here as well. And then let's also grab like an orange yellowish color for the beak. Just like that. Grab black for the eye. And then perfect, we got our beautiful and very cute seagull. We can make it, let's go to uniform. Make it smaller and make it kind of flying higher. So just like that. And then you can even add more if you want. So it's like looking the other way, but I'm just going to leave it at 1. Let's make it a bit smaller so it's under our sun. Just like that. Actually, I think adding maybe 1 more would be good. So we can duplicate that and then say flip horizontal. And then we can make this one a bit bigger and push it down here. Actually, now that I'm thinking, let's go ahead and leave it as 1. I think that looks good. And then if you want, you can add 1 more. Okay, and then now I also want to do some last minute things on our ocean. So let's go, and then we're going to go to this little wrench, go to canvas, turn on drawing guide. Then we're going to say edit drawing guide, make sure it's on 2D grid, and then say done. And then we're going to go to this ocean layer and then say drawing assist. And then let's grab white. And now we're just going to do these nice lines. We're going to put our brush at the most low thing, so 1%. And draw these little white ripples in the water. Perfect. And then we can turn off drawing guide and turn off drawing assist. And now our last thing is going to be making a reflection of this boat. So let's duplicate that, put it underneath that, our first original boat. We're going to lower the opacity of this one. Let's go for 40%. Go to the arrow right here and then make sure it's on uniform and then say flip vertical. And then we're going to just push it underneath. Perfect. And then now we're just going to go to the smudge tool. Make our brush. Let's go to the smudge and then go to round brush. And then we're just going to do like this with our smudge. We're going to keep smudging it until it's a nice reflection in the water. just like that. Perfect. So it's not a clear kind of silhouette of the boat, but you can kind of see that there's a reflection here because it's lighter water. Perfect. So now it looks really good, and then we can merge that together. Just like that. And then you can choose if you want to merge all of this together, or you can just leave it be so you have more flexibility if you want to change some things or move, for example, like the boat or anything. And then I think we're done now with this beautiful drawing. I hope you enjoyed drawing this tranquil ocean scene as much as I did. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss more creative tutorials. Keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!